I'm sure that they don't need any introduction, but we asked these three to come and speak to you guys tonight because they are the best branded Americans in this business. I'm sure you all know Brandon Phillips, he's a 5-goal player, Kris Kampsen, he's 6 goals, and Nick, who's 7. They're going to tell you pretty much everything from how to cultivate a sponsor to how to brand yourself.
Cool. Thanks, Amanda. What's that?
Thanks, Amanda.
Yeah. Does everybody want to introduce themselves?
Yeah, sure.
All right.
I'm Ty McCarty.
Nice. I know you. Saw you all day today.
Yeah. Jake's
Izzy.
I know her.
Yep. Wes. What's your name? Nice.
Angela.
Cool. And then we've already just met. Cool, man.
Nate Barubi.
And you're
Zach.
Zev?
Zach.
Zach. Cool. Sorry. Anyways, well, thank you guys all for coming out and listening to our
I'm telling you, this is all we gotta do.
to our speech. But anyways, basically, you know, you guys all are trying to become professional polo players, and you know, polo is definitely, it's evolved a lot. It's becoming more mainstream and it's becoming more professional, and you know, times are changing, and you know, there aren't a lot of, you know, back, I don't know, 10 or 15 years ago, 20 years ago, there used to be a lot of teams that used to have horses, where, you know, basically they used to hire young guys like you guys between, you know, the handicap 0 to 2 to 3 goals, and they mount you guys. And now it's not really, you know, it's not really like that anymore. You know, polo's changed a lot, and it's all about, you know, it's all about horses and trying to get yourselves, you know, as well mounted as possible. And I mean, I think you guys all agree. I mean,
that's the key, honestly. I mean, I know that, like, for me personally, it's changed my life to be doing a young horse program, and it's changed my whole horse situation. Nick doesn't do the young horse program, but he does buy young horses that are started and need finishing. So he does that. Whereas, like, I instead, I went to Vicky Armour, and I would basically go in debt and just try to buy the best horses I can buy from her out of her barn. And there's a lot of guys that have done that, and I mean, look at the 10-goal players and what they do, and try to copy that is the best advice for horse situation, I would think.
Yeah.
And I mean, Ty, you're with Mike. Mike has always 10 goals for 15 years riding Vicky Armour horses.
Yeah.
Memo Recita was 25 years riding Vicky Armour horses and buying everything else at the time that you could buy. I mean, right? Brandon and I kind of got our start with Memo.
well, it's not really who you buy from. I think the most important thing that you guys need to think about is that if you guys want to improve in polo, and if you guys want to get hired for teams, you know, horses is the key. So any, you know, all your money that you have, whatever money that you guys have, and it doesn't matter if you guys are in debt for the next 10 years. I mean, I did it. Did it. Kampsen did it. We've all done it where we've owed money, but one way or another, you have to build up a string of horses, and you know, you get an old one from one guy, you know, where you say I'll pay it off in a couple of months. I mean, Nikki, you know how it is. It's you know, you buy one that has an injury that doesn't work for somebody else. You know, you have to. It takes a lot of work. You know, it's not just, you know, it's not going to happen overnight. It's not going to be, you know, it's not, and also, you know, you have to be out there as well. You know, you can't just, you know, sit at your barn, and you know, you have to be out there socializing and promoting yourself as
Socializing
players.
doesn't mean you have to be at the Mallet Grill until 3 in the morning with your shirt off.
I'm not. Yeah,
you know, like,
and we've done that all too. But
yeah,
but
we've done that. And it's also hurt our careers very, very much so. But like,
I've never done that.
all right, because you got married at a really young age.
Yeah.
Like a dumbass. Yeah. But anyways,
because it's being social, and then you're meeting people, and then
you have to interact with sponsors. You know, you try to go to all the barbecues and all the functions, and interacting with sponsors and getting people to know you, and you make your contacts, and then you know the next, you know, that's the way polo works. You know, like, oh well, I met that kid at a barbecue who's really nice, and you know,
like a nice kid, I want to help him.
Yeah, I want to help him.
Like, I mean, I know Jorge, you were with Owen last spring, so was Pedro, right? You guys were both with Owen?
No, I was with Adam.
You were with Adam, you were with Owen, right? I mean, there's kind of, I mean, not to be a jerk or whatever, but like, they're kind of on the downward slope, you know, to like, but it's a great learning experience to be with those guys.
Yeah.
So, I mean, what helped Brandon and myself and Nick had Pony Express, you know, where he was with Balti and Gonzalo Hagi, and they kind of helped him come up through the ranks that's from the outside, you know?
Yeah.
I mean, they took you to 7 goals.
Yeah, yeah.
Pony Express, right?
Yeah.
And then, I mean, Brandon teamed up with White Birch, left White Birch to go to Memo. I mean, I was with Memo as a kid as well.
I was 8 years working until I owned my first horse.
Right.
I got lucky going in with White Birch as their 0 goal player and playing with them for 3 or 4 years in the high goal, but I had, you know, their horses, their everything. Then went to Memo for another 4 years of all his operation until I went on my own. And when I went on my own, I was lucky with Memo. Basically, just said I was 0, went through. By the time I finished with Memo, I was 4, and he said, "All right, he gave me a list of 20 horses he owned, and he said, pick 6. There's the prices. Pay me when you can. If it's $5 a month, whatever, just send me a check for something each month so you haven't forgotten about me." And he basically handed in one day, gave me 6 horses and said, go. And I went off to Houston to start playing the pro pool and started like that.
I did the exact same thing with Pony Express. It was the same thing, sort of.
And the reason to get that is it was 8 years of working your ass off,
right.
Being seen, working. Memo had to get to a point. Memo hasn't done that for either. He's done that for his son and for me. And the reason it was for me was I was there. You had to build a relationship with the guy. You had to be busting your ass. You were riding 30 horses a day. I went a year and a half of not being able to sleep in past 6 a.m. You were working every single day unless it was a travel day to Europe. So it was you got to get in with someone and you got to earn your right for them, or they earn yourself so they can say, you know what, I want to help this kid out. I want to give him 2 horses, 3 horses, 4 horses to start him off. I'm going to set him with a sponsor and wherever. You got to find that hope. Unless any of you guys have the financial resources of showing up with a truck, trailer, 8 good horses, everything all set up, if you can, great. But the odds are most of you can't, and so you're going to have to go through the working side, and that is pick yourself with somebody. Find somebody that you can mentor under. It's a lot harder for you guys than it was for us now. I mean, to be honest, you guys are, don't have much of a chance. I'm going to be honest with you guys. It's hard. Now, us, we had the big farms at the time, the late 90s. You had the White Birches, Pegasuses, Revlons, Pony Express.
Diable Blue was like...
You had teams that had 80, 90 horses that as long as you were good enough as a player, they'd support you. They'd bring you in. You didn't even have to buy your own mallets. I mean, you're playing with us. Now you guys are expected to show up with a field the same as a 10-goal player or an 8-goal player or a 5-goal player is. So it's very difficult for you guys now. I mean, I'm not going to say
It's tough. You just have to work. You just have to. Honestly, first of all, you have to know you want to do this. If this is really what you guys want to do, and this is like your dreams, great. You have to follow them, but you have to work. It's going to take a lot of work, and it's going to take a lot of dedication and focus. And I'm sure you guys all have the talent.
You're willing to give up 2 or 3 years of your life to be at the barn 6 a.m. every freaking morning. Yeah, I mean, we're all human, okay? I mean, we've all ridden sets hungover where you're sleeping like, I hate my life. Yeah, but you're still at the barn at 6 a.m. riding a set. I mean, and getting your ass work because you're there to work.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with that. Everybody's gone through it. Mariano, most of the top 10 goalers, except the ones that were born into families that have tons of money, but Mariano Aguirre was is a great example. Yeah, thank you. I mean, he was a groom. He started off as a groom. I mean, I think Mariano.
I mean, Mariano had
Mariano,
farms.
Right. Mariano Aguirre came here as 0 goals with White Birch as their 0-goal player, and he's never left.
Right.
He spent his whole career with them, and obviously he's 10 goals.
Basically, try to find somebody that you guys, make relationships, make contacts, and try to stick to somebody, and follow in their footsteps and help and work as much as possible. Be at the barns every day, and like they said, the first year or 2 years, you might not play that much polo, but you learn all. Polo is not all about getting onto a polo field and going and scoring goals. I mean, there's so much more to it than just arriving to a polo field. I mean, it's all about learning about the horses, learning about maintaining the horses, learning about what they feed, what they eat. I mean, what they, the training. I mean, the list goes on, and those are all key points to becoming a really good polo player as well. And I think you guys need to try to focus on that and try to look for You know, to try to
The sponsors come later. I mean, honestly, like, once you get to a certain handicap, then people want to play with you. But cultivating a sponsor when you're 0 to 2 goals,
it's tough.
It's
not going to happen.
Not going to happen. Unless you're playing in the smallest polo club in the world in God only knows where. Like, I mean, I know Jorge, like, you came from Phoenix, Arizona. Not a beacon of high go polo. I mean,
Right.
you know? And, I mean, you gave lessons and so forth there, right? I mean, you had a better
You guys
shot
got to
at
get yourself
cultivating
with
a
pros right now.
there than here. Here in Palm Beach, everyone's eyes go googly for Cambiaso and all the 10-goal players. So, I mean, if someone's going to get a spot at a new sponsor in Palm Beach, it's
Not going to be you guys. It's not going to be us.
It's not us.
You guys have to tie yourself in with a pro. You have to tie yourself into an organization, to a pro or to a team. And if you're going to that team, my suggestion is if you can get into one of the bigger operations, and you start as the groom. You start as they give you an odd horse to stick and ball once in a while. You're shoveling shit for weeks.
Don't kill the horse they give you to stick and ball.
When you get, yeah. You have to start with
way
the.
times. He still does that to this day. So
I still do the same. I own them.
But the best
Thanks,
advice
buddy.
I can give you is to get in with the few big teams there are. It's the only thing financially you'll probably be able to do, unless again you guys, one of you can go or get all your own horses and go do
if
it.
you have your own horses and your own rig and your own stuff.
But if you want to get into
Every advantage you have. Some of the richest guys are in polo as pros. Paco Narvaez is from a huge rich family. He's got hundreds of horses. I went to Argentina to work for him when I was 6 goals. I went there and I played his 4 and 5 year olds for him at the ranch. And I mean, I had 25 horses that were in my string as 4 and 5 year olds. And then he would take them and go play the Gold Cup or whatever he was playing. And I mean, all I did was go stick and ball all day long. Nick and I got the chance, we were 3 goals to go to Balti's, and I was 3 goals, he was 5, just, lost the final deal with Balti. We went there that fall, and we worked for Balti every day, riding 15 horses a day each. And like grunts, grooms in Argentina running around trying to shave your head every day while you're trying to stick and ball and work. I mean, it's like...
But that's where you like Argentina also is, I mean, if any of you guys can get the chance to go to Argentina and to play with any of, I mean, a lot of these big Argentine guys, they have so many horses that they need people to go. And if you can make a contact through one of them, that's...
You're not going to make any money doing it.
Yeah.
Just say, hey, listen, I'll work for you, save money to buy your own plane ticket if you have to. And then once you're there, just be like, all right, give me a place to live and let me ride every day. Do whatever that takes. I mean, Nick, you've gone to Argentina, right?
Yeah.
You worked your ass off. Yeah. I mean, it's what has to happen. We try to get better.
It has to happen.
You first have to
that's all what you guys want to do. I mean, it's right. I mean, you guys all want to strive to become good polo players, right?
I mean, if any of you do have the advantage financially from your parents to back you, take it. Take it. That's how you're going to get good. Do anything you can.
Take it and run.
You guys gotta ask yourself now.
Never be ashamed that your parents can help you out, ever, in getting to be a good polo player, if they can.
You guys got to figure out now if this is really what you want. Are you here because this is the end all of your life, that you want to be a polo player and this is what you want to do? Are you here because it just looks kind of cool and Palm Beach is cool and you're trying to pick up chicks and maybe a polo would be a good place to start? You like the idea? Are you really wanting to put in the time? Are you going to go behind the scenes and do everything you need to do? Because if you're not 100% into it, you're wasting your time, the guy next to you's time, our time. It's too tough now. It's not just, you're not just going to get lucky. You're going to have to bust your ass.
Yep.
And if you want to do it, great. But really think, I mean, where are you in life? Do you have an education yet? Are you able to do something else if this falls through? You got to think of the big picture. It's not there's no one besides Wesley that's really young. I mean, you guys are all, I'm assuming, 19 and up, correct? You're already missed the cut. I mean, you see there's 16, 17-year-olds Argentines that are 4, 5, 6, 7 goals. I mean, you guys already are coming in late, so you got to really...
For example, let me just stop real quick. This kid at 17 years old was 5. How many goals were you?
At 17? 7.
7 goals at 17?
6, 7,
6
somewhere
goals?
around there. Whatever, it doesn't, whatever.
I mean, Brandon at 17,
I was only 0, but...
he was 0, but he was with White Birch playing the 26.
Playing the
Kept him
opener
at 0
then.
to do that.
But
at 17, I was 4. I mean, it's... Ben,
you guys have missed the cut, to be honest with you. You're already too old.
You're going to have to make
so
a
it's
huge jump in the next couple of years. or say I'm going to use my polo to get an education, to get a college scholarship, to do something, and then come back.
And Polo will do that as well. I mean, you'll learn like through the ropes, through like meeting sponsors and working out your deals and stuff like that. Like, you know, like I don't have a. I mean, I left high school, and I mean, I don't even think I finished high school. But
Don't even think.
Nick, but you're a completely different example.
But whatever. What I'm
you
saying
were 7 goals with.
No, I know. But what I'm saying is that like.
I mean,
like
take Nick apart, okay? Nick is like one of the. He's a freak, and that's how he is. I mean, he's a freak. He was 15, went from 0 to 3 before he could drive. I know because I was driving him around. You know, like, and I mean.
Not to discourage you guys. Not that it can't be done.
We're trying to be like, we're not trying to.
But you gotta.
Like, oh, you're never gonna be like us. No, because a lot of you probably have more talent than we ever had.
Right. It's just a matter of dedication. It's just you gotta know 100% this is what you want to do, and you gotta go for it. And I think I mean, there's no reason why any of you guys should do. I'm sure you guys all have the same talent as we do. So it's just a matter of like working your angles. I mean, you're doing well, dude. You're playing with Alegria. I mean, last year you played with Bendabout. I mean, slowly but surely you're getting there, and you're playing fucking super well. And I'm sure.
I'm kidding. Okay.
So there will be opportunities. It's just it's just don't think the opportunities are gonna come to you. You got to chase those opportunities. You need to go to them. You need to just.
And remember, I said to a few of you guys the other day, your opportunities. You got a window this big when you're down here. You get a chance to play. You get a chance to stick and ball. You get a chance to do anything. Especially being here in Wellington, there's always eyes on you. Good or bad, you have to make the best out of every situation you're in. You get one horse to stick and ball, well, do it properly. Ride the horse well. Hit the ball, concentrate, because you never know who's in the trees and the bushes. Whoever's watching you, there's always somebody watching you.
It's a small world. Polo is a very small world,
and that's you discovered.
Everyone knows everything about everything. So
I know a kid, Whitebirch, even tried out because we were sitting there at halftime, and this kid was with a foot mallet in New York doing unbelievable things with a foot mallet. This kid, all next thing you know, Mariano comes up to him at halftime and says, "Come to the barn tomorrow. We want to try you out for Florida." Okay, you put the kid on a horse, he sucked, but he got an opportunity just by a stupid thing what he does with a foot mallet. So there's always somebody watching you with a foot mallet on a horse, cleaning stalls. Do we like the guy? Do we see him at night? Is he a drunk? Is he fun? Is he smart? Everything you do from outside the barn, inside the barn, here Sunday nights, whatever you do, somebody's watching you. So you have to. You guys are here to impress. So you really got to be smart about what you do and how you do things. And hopefully you get that brief 20-minute slot that somebody sees you and you can get picked up.
And I mean, if you work hard enough, it'll happen. You'll get that. Just be 100%.
Getting jobs, 60% of it is on your ability, 40% of it is the person you are.
Right.
So
remember, in Polo in the United States and England, like the owner of the team actually plays on the team. So a lot of sponsors they're not all about how great you are. Sometimes they want to hire a good guy who's a nice guy, who's sociable, who is fun. You can go to dinner and have normal conversation with them. So obviously talent and horses, that all come. I mean, it's important, but remember to be.
You may get your break by talking to a guy sitting at Polo at halftime, talking to someone, one of the sponsors. Somehow someone sees you and you're talking to them and they like you, and just by liking you and what you had to say, sure, come to my barn tomorrow. Let's see what you got.
Right.
You'll get opportunities that way as well. And I mean, so it's very important to be all angles, because you guys, if you're going to be an asshole, you better be 10 goals. And if you guys aren't going to be 10 goals, which I'm sorry, there's odds of probably you guys aren't going to be 10 goals. You got to use your off-field, your social skills to get there, to get people to like you, give you opportunities, and want you around them, their family, their kids, their horses, their organization. So it's
That's very important as well in Polo. Very important.
And they say about contracts, to be honest, at any level, a contract, okay, it's great to just kind of say for details. We put down who's paying the feed, who's paying this, just kind of what you have to cover, what the sponsor has to cover. That's not bad to have down in writing. Bottom line is, you get a deposit, you will make a deal, you get their cash. Sponsors will renege on contracts whenever they feel like it. You say,
Always.
oh, it's a legal contract. Well, you go, if I have a problem with some millionaire and, okay, he just walked away in a contract, he's going to go drag it out in court. I'll be broke by the time we even get to it. Contracts mean nothing to these guys. You have to remember, get their money. If it's $10 as a deposit, if it's $1,000, you have their money in your hand, they will stay with their deal. And if worst case happens, they don't, you just got free money.
Yeah.
Contracts are, to me, kind of crap.
There's been a few guys I've done written contracts with in my polo career, and I mean,
just ask for a deposit.
it's because of them.
You get their money,
It's because the sponsor said, oh, I have to do this for my company or whatever I'm going to pay you through. Just sign this thing, and all it is a clarification. Fine. 99% of the time, all it is an email or a text of, hey, here's my wire instructions. I mean, that's pretty much my only contracts I ever do.
Polo still hasn't gone that professional, and I really don't think it will unless we bring corporate sponsorship.
Unless it gets on TV.
Yeah. First of all, if and when or if it ever does, Polo. I mean, the only way that Polo would really explode is if we get it televised on any of the big channels.
When you get it televised, you bring in the corporate sponsors, and the corporate sponsors. Then now we start having 4 pro teams.
What we're trying to do. I mean, we've already been working with a lot of corporate sponsors. You know, Piaget has done a lot for Polo, and they're thinking about sponsoring full teams. And we have a bunch of other corporate sponsors.
I mean, the three of us have worked together at this tirelessly.
Years.
We've been doing this for 2 years now, and it takes a lot of work and a lot of convincing, and
no one wants to be the first one, so it's tough to get that first.
I mean, we're close. We're really, really close. I mean, Polo has become, especially in the last 2 years, with the thanks to Nacho Figueres and Ralph Lauren, and now Piaget has sort of jumped on board, and there's a couple of car companies like Audi, and I think maybe there's a lot of other there's good.
Espresso did a team 1 year for me in Miami, with Nacho.
Right, Greg. I mean,
I played with Isabella. I mean,
right.
They helped us.
Things
out
are happening, and I think Polo will become a lot more mainstream. Just because sort of the feedback I'm getting from the public. I mean, people love the sport, and they think it's unbelievable, and just nobody really knows anything about it. It's such a no one is educated. No one is educated. No one has a clue about the sport. So they're like. And also, they think that it's like sort of the sport, it's the elite sport that no one can go to get involved with.
And from a professional standpoint, why we'd want, for us, to benefit us, for corporate sponsors, is for security, for one. Because as it stands now, these great people, these great sponsors that we play for, we are their fun money. We are their extracurricular activity. We're in their toy box. And when they have the extra money and everything's going great, everything's great. One thing goes wrong in their personal life, their business, first thing they cut out is their extracurricular activities, which is Polo, which is us. Mm-hmm. So you never know. You could have a contract for 10 years. You could have everything, and next thing you know, the guy's stock goes to crap the next day, and sorry, I can't play Polo with you anymore.
And it's happened to many people.
And it's happened to all of us 10 times over. Yeah. So we have no security in the sport with the sponsors. It doesn't matter as great people as they can be, as they'll tell you that you're going to be with them for life. Stuff happens in their world that they can't control, but sorry guys, Polo's on the back burner for a while. So that's why bringing in corporate, just like any professional sport would have, you have a 3-year deal and you're pretty safe when Piaget or Ferrari says, we want to do this for 3 years. You sign the contract with them, for 3 years you're getting a paycheck. So that's, as a professional on the side of it, that's why we'd want to bring them in, is just so you can make those long-term contracts and be safe with it.
Because it's rare in Polo you see a guy play with the team for a while. I mean, most teams...
White Birch was really Mariano Guerra is the only guy that's been with the team for 20 years.
And that's the funny thing. Peter Brandt, everyone said how many things, he's this, he's that. He's the most loyal guy there is.
Right.
I mean, when you start with White Birch and you do your job with White Birch, you don't leave White Birch. If you leave, it's on your own cause.
Bob, always with a Heggie.
Bob's been playing, Bob Daniels has been playing Paigo Polo for 30 years and has always had one of the Heggies. He's always been a loyal guy. He may not have, been the biggest sponsor, but he's always been there. And, yeah.
But remember that with these sponsors, it's
It's because of them that we're here.
Yeah,
you know.
you have to respect them, everything they do.
Respect them.
You know
that you're. I mean,
treat them like they want. Don't treat them like they're like. You know, they want to be treated like normal people as well. You know, so don't feel like you have to go and
but
try
they're also your living. So you can't like go look at the guy and he misses a back shot and go, I'm gonna kill you. You know, like
because Kampsen's never done that before.
Never. Never. Remember, you are always disposable. We are all disposable to these guys.
Disposable. Let me tell you.
So
you're like a peanut pod.
No, they at any time, any moment, you could be gone. No matter what they say the night before, the next morning things could change. So that's your security. You have to have yourself, your own little circle of whatever you do put around you secure, because you might get a 1-month contract with this guy, and in 2 weeks his stock goes, and sorry, we're supposed to play the whole month, but no, after 2 weeks you're done. You're not getting paid. You're not getting, I mean, you're going to get screwed. At some point, if you haven't already, you will get screwed 10 times over. It's the nature of the sport.
22 goal in Aiken one year. I got my deposit. I got to Aiken. My sponsor's horses didn't arrive. I was with Mike Azzaro and Tommy Biddle. We're like, okay, maybe the guys just, plans last minute, this and that. Hey, that entry fee check didn't come. I'll FedEx it to you. Didn't come. I mean, things didn't come. We all had our deposits. Lawyers were starting to get involved. Like if you don't play, you're gonna have to get the money back. These kind of things. I mean, so we played, and I'm still owed money from the thing. Mike Azzaro still owed money from the thing. Tommy Biddle still owed money from the thing. The guy paid us like 1/10 of what we were supposed to get paid. We got our deposits, and if we quote didn't play, we were gonna have to give that back because it was like a failure to perform on our parts. And the guy could have sued us to get our money back. So we had to play, and then now it's just one of those things. The guy, all of a sudden, he sends me a text like out of the blue at like 2 in the morning, and then he's like, "Hey, I'll have a check next Wednesday for you." And you're like, "Oh, really?" Next morning you reply, "Sounds great." I mean, what am I gonna do? Tell the guy to go fuck himself? I mean, yeah, I want to, but I can't because
you don't want to burn bridges.
The dream that this guy's gonna get his money someday.
That's the thing. When you get screwed, you gotta take it. Because you never know, and as many times as you want to go back to the guy and just say you are blah blah blah, you never know. 2 months later, a year later, this guy comes back around again, and he's hit the big jackpot that time, and he wants you again, and he remembers that you helped him out.
Right.
You have to just keep your mouth shut. You walk away, and you're fine. You learn from that, but you don't burn bridges. You never know when it's going to come back around, and you'll benefit from this person another time. So you're going to get it, and you're going to have to take it, receive it, take your licks, and then that's it. Because also, too, you go blast one of these sponsors, it's an ego thing for them. And they're going to go badmouth you to another sponsor. Oh, this kid, he just blasted me. He's this, he's that, regardless if you were in the right or wrong. And Polo is so small, you can't get a bad reputation in any way. You can't get it. One bad thing comes out, it'll take you years to overcome that. And especially if you're not going to be 10 goals, your reputation is super important. There are 10-goal players that couldn't get jobs because of reputation.
Right.
Maybe one, but it was maybe two.
Yeah,
but it was you gotta just keep your mouth shut. A lot of it. You can't go punch a wall, go do whatever you're gonna do in your home, but you're gonna have to take it, and it sucks because you want to just go back at them and say you're this and this, and you went back on that, and you went back. You can't. And we've done that. We've been quiet about it. And yes, maybe 2 years later, this guy comes back around and we're playing the high goal with him again. It's a job.
Don't burn your bridges.
You do not burn bridges at any point.
Yeah.
As much as you want to, don't do it is the best advice because it'll benefit at some point. It'll come around.
Does anyone have any questions or?
Isabella had a couple questions earlier.
Yep.
Yes.
I think.
Would you like to stand up and say your questions?
Yeah.
You just stand on the chair.
Isabella was at my barn today. We have a very long report. She had a couple questions she wanted to address this evening.
Just stand on the chair and speak.
Can you please stand up and?
Could you stand up and address these questions to Brandon and Nick as well, so they could answer these? These were great questions.
Are you blushing?
Wow.
I'll think of it in a minute. You can go around and then I'll...
Ty can sure has a question.
No, I mean, you guys already answered them all. Like, the jobs that I've had and the jobs that I'm getting are through friendships rather than
Friendships, man.
ability.
Look, great thing. Like, Argentine, like, look, 98% of the polo players are Argentines, right? Most of the top ones, right?
Yeah.
And the way that it goes with them is, it's, I have a cousin, or they hire between their family, their cousins, and their friends.
Yeah, exactly.
That's the way it goes. So there's
Kinda
no
like
reason
us.
why
I
the
mean,
United
we
why
wanna play with
we
our
don't do
friends.
that.
I mean,
in the United States, nobody does that.
No, like I was in Aiken and I was playing 8 goal with this one my friend. His dad was just fitting the bill for the entire team, and I had a wreck and whatever, was out for a while, and then came back and was playing horribly, but they stuck with me because I'm his friend.
Right.
And I mean, as long as if you're hardworking and you're loyal and like you're a good guy.
Yeah.
I mean, you just go to dinners and you have to be a good person.
Yep.
You have to. That's
Absolutely.
what I found is half of it.
For sure, dude.
And then the horses, like you said, like the
Horses.
The horses.
I mean, that is the biggest.
The horses that I'm riding from Biggie Armor, like you're saying, are $30,000 horses that he buys a year and a half. I mean, for $30,000, that are not even made. I mean, but these things are natural athletes.
Right.
These things are machines. And that's where you got to start. You got to risk. I found that I haven't had contracts which have came back and kind of bit me in the butt, but sometimes like you have to make deals without contracts because I feel like sometimes I screw up deals by saying like, no, I need this much money, this much stuff. Oh no, we don't want you. We'll go find another kid.
Right.
But if you go in without a contract and work hard and play hard and whatever and look good, then it's going to be rewarding. They're going to hire you again. They're going to whatever.
Yep.
I mean, as far as like pricing and stuff like that, we always want to get the most we ever can get. And there's one thing Carlos Cressida told me. He goes, when they want you, they'll pay anything.
Yeah.
When they don't want you, you can go for free, and they still won't take you. He goes,
Right.
So when you price yourself, just know that if they really want you, they're going to pay for you. If they don't want you,
That's like some.
it doesn't
like,
matter if you said, I'll go for free.
That's kind of a question I have is like, I guess I don't really understand how to price myself, you know what I mean? Like the only deals I've had are just whatever. I just go and work and play as hard as I can. And look
Well, you
at
gotta- you can-
and
you
like,
have
What
to earn
handicap
that.
were you?
Well, I was
Are
0.
you
all
0?
summer, now I'm 1.
Expenses, because there's one
That's
goal
what I
guys that
thought,
are
just-
sponsors.
You know what they respect? You do this. You tell them they can get you, obviously get your expenses, and explain. Be completely truthful. I want to come play. I'm going to kill myself for you. I can't afford to float my own bill. I'm trying to make money to buy horses.
Yeah.
Somehow to get horses. Let's say I'm going to go for expenses, play this. Maybe they have a horse,
maybe-
and maybe
to get a
they say
horse,
to get a horse.
Yeah,
Just so
yeah,
it doesn't
exactly.
cost you money to play.
An old
that's
horse,
fine.
a horse that has an injury. Who gives
But
a
maybe
shit?
you leave instead of
matter.
leaving with money, you leave with a horse. Well, there, that's one stepping stone.
Is his name Horizon, by the way?
Not Shadow.
Horizon's dead.
Yeah, Horizon's dead.
Horizon's dead. Yeah, died last year.
We'll edit that time.
Heart attack.
Oh, that's all.
Anyone else have anything their questions?
What do you guys think?
What are your guys' plans this season? You're here after this week. You're here all season. You're working for someone. You're on your own.
Yeah, and go around. What is everybody doing?
What are your plans?
I'm working for Julio.
Cool.
Good.
Good.
Good person
Very
to work for. He
Jake,
knows a
we know where
lot.
you're at. We know where you're at. We know where you're at. You're everywhere.
He's at school. Wes, what are you doing?
Yeah.
Practice. You've got your own horses here, right? You're
Great.
trying to play. You got some leagues.
Are you back up for any of the sponsors or anything? That's another thing. Go to this. We all did this too. Go if you're 0-1 goal. Go look at every sponsor that's playing the high goal right now. Go to their manager and say, when your sponsor doesn't play, if he gets hurt, who can do you have someone to replace him? Go
That's
be
in
their
all levels
backup.
of polo, not just the high goal. Go to the 4 goal, the 8
Anything.
goal.
Go in and you say you back up because what'll happen if they do want you, they're gonna have practice. Come to practice and play. Okay, it's 8 chucker practice. Sponsor's gonna play 6 chuckers. Maybe you play the last 2 chuckers. See, it'll get your polo and get a relationship with these big sponsors, the big teams.
Man,
Go
Doesn't
to
have to be big teams, any team.
I was 2 goals. Steve Van Andel was 2 goals one year, and Julio Arellano hit him in the eye. Couldn't play the Open. So I got to play the rest of the Gold Cup, and then we started the Open, and then somebody else got
I was a
hurt on the
backup
team.
for Tim Gannon when I was 0. I mean, you just
Guys, and you get to ride horses that you'll never be able to afford to buy. I mean, that's the idea, right? These sponsors that play, they're buying horses for $100,000, $80,000, $60,000, and they're buying not one, they're buying a whole string of them. So you get to ride horses that are, I mean, are so far beyond what your capabilities are on a 26-hole field at 0 or 2 goals. That, I mean, it's.
But go and talk to those teams. Tell them you'll be there. You know, then at least they'll give you a shot to say, well, let's see if this kid can hit a ball at least. Maybe you'll get the stick and ball, and they'll say, yeah, you're good. Okay, maybe he's come around.
Dude, Nick, you're a great example, dude. I mean, when did you I mean, you went to school, you finished college, and you said, hey, I want to start playing polo. Look at you now. I mean, you're playing 14. You're playing with Pony Express in the 20. I mean, you've got a string of 10 horses.
One
I mean,
from you, one
well,
from you.
but yeah, see, whatever. But that's how it works, though. No, I mean, you know, you get a horse here, you get a horse here, you sort of build up a string, and I mean, right?
Yeah.
Piece it together.
Yeah,
It takes a long time.
takes a long time, right?
I mean, I'm not even close. And
Like you
Yeah,
went to
but
college,
dude, but
right,
you're-
Nick? Like you finished college.
Yeah.
So you started at 22, 23.
24 when I was playing first time full.
But you were always playing polo,
in the
but
summer.
right,
But like, I mean, you really started piecing your string together at 24?
23, yeah.
Right.
23, 24? Okay. I mean, man, and it's a
Yeah, it's tough.
procedure.
It is.
I mean, it's.
but now you're playing. I mean, you're playing what you want to be playing, dude.
Yeah.
And you get the opportunities.
You're
That
going to play the 20 this year. You're
Right.
playing the 14s now.
you've played 6. I mean, you've played everywhere. So
What are you guys' plans?
I'm in school right now.
You are.
And, I'm trying to plan something for the summertime.
yeah,
I'm playing a lot of local stuff, but now I'm trying to get opportunity to move up and.
right.
Where are you in college?
Yeah, I'm in college.
Yeah.
Right now.
Through Polo? Like
Well,
college?
I'm not playing polo right now. I'm in college. I plan to transfer to Cornell next year
That's
Cool.
great.
and play there. So, but I'm trying to.
Where do you spend your summers?
Well, I've been playing up in the Northeast.
Okay.
Near Saratoga and up in upstate New York.
Who's in Saratoga? That I mean, isn't Govin or any of those guys that
Ricky
like?
Bostwick?
How many goals are you?
Yeah, you need to go and you need to investigate. You know, go and do some homework as to
Who's
who's
there?
around there and say, hey,
Or-
look, pay my expenses. I'll come and I'll ride horses. I'll stick a ball. I'll you know.
Give me a place to live.
Guys are always looking for
Pilots.
you know, for work, for helpers.
Yeah.
You know. And,
Or Mashomik. I mean,
Yeah, I've been over there in the Showman as well, just riding and stuff, and because I was living in Connecticut, for sticking ball over the Showman, and but yeah, I'm just trying to get the opportunity and like go from there.
that's fantastic.
I mean, yeah. I mean, even if like one of us is in Greenwich and we need, you know, and we can only send one guy. If we can send one guy and you get one of these guys, I mean, it's, you know,
Huge help.
yeah. So there's.
What would you guys think, like,
No, I'm not taking you.
no, what do you think about, like, there's a lot of kids that just focus playing logo polo, and I think it's better to sacrifice that logo stuff and work for a high goal player, you know, like you're saying, you know, because, I mean, I don't know if that's some advice you want to give these guys, like, the low, playing 2 and 4 and 6 and 8, that
Well, I'm just saying you got to start somewhere.
Yeah.
You gotta do it.
You got to do it, but if you get an opportunity to go in with a high goal player, go.
Yeah.
Because at least
Don't take the money at the 4 goal.
go with the high goal player.
Get the high goal.
Right.
And if it's free, if you're the right person and you're with the right, the guy's gonna pay you. At least
Guys
pay you
gonna
a groom
you.
salary,
Yeah,
give you. They're gonna
I mean,
pay you.
He'd be a
And if you're going as a groom, but you're at least put in front of people. He'll have you there. You'll be at the games. You'll be in Palm Beach. You'll be in Santa Barbara. You'll be in the Hamptons. You'll be where the big guns are, and you might get that break. You might get the stick and ball, the practice. This guy gets hurt.
Dude, a small
ambulance
kid
chase.
hurt,
Do whatever.
boom, you guys are there.
Yeah, I
You
mean,
know, and you have that one opportunity, you play well, and then everyone's like, oh shit.
last year Wes Middleton got to fill in with Circa in the 16 goal, played against me. I mean, the kid was 0 goals.
Ate your lunch.
Yeah.
Kicked your ass.
Yeah.
Ate my lunch. The kid scored like 4 goals that game. I mean, your mom was there. You were there. He's one of your best friends. I mean, he got the opportunity. Why? Because he went, talked to Martin Peppa, did the this, did the that, and got the opportunity. You know, I mean, he found them, and they needed somebody to fill in for Kris. That's a huge jump start for a kid.
You go. Well, a lot of us did too with the high goal teams, and you say. Either you're getting in as the backup for the sponsor, go hold a spare for them. Start being friends with the manager. Like talk with them. Let them know who you are.
I held Brandon's spare.
He held my spare. He was horrible at it, but he held my spare. But you go in and you make relationships with all these
I didn't say you
teams.
had to care when you held the spare. I just said you had to go do it.
But it's that's another way of, instead of just going cold turkey up, knocking on the door saying, "Hi, I'm here. Can you hire me?" So listen, you need to spare help. So, yeah, who are you? Okay, well, I'm one goal, and I'd like to. I'm trying to break in. Tell them, be honest.
Yeah.
Sure, kid, come
Tell
here.
them your deal.
Here's
Tell them
$50.
exactly what
Hold
you
a
gotta do,
spare.
what you wanna
They're
do.
gonna pay you to hold the spare.
Yeah, you're not doing it for free.
Okay, thanks for holding the spare today. See you later.
But
Here's Gatorade.
there's your person skills come in and start talking with these people.
So you pour half out and hand you the rest, No, I mean, they're going to pay you for it too. So, I mean, just be out there, be personable, talk to them.
Kris, what do you guys think about, there's a few people in here, they're 1 goal, 2 goals, have strings. Do they just keep clawing it out with their string? I mean, it outweighs what they're getting paid.
Yeah.
You got it. I mean, if you have the opportunity right now to actually own horses, I mean, do whatever it takes.
So you're suggesting, like, if you have a string, like I have a string of horses, go and play. Like I played 8-goal polo all summer and didn't learn a thing, but I played and I got paid for it, but I didn't learn one thing. And then now I don't have any horses here, and I'm working for my gazelle, and I'm learning, I'm improving. So I'm
Obviously,
saying
when you have horses, opportunities arise. Like, I was talking to another young kid today, and I mean, he wanted to come down here and work, or he could stay in Aiken this winter and play green horse chuckers. As I said, man, stay and play.
Really?
You have to play.
Yeah.
I mean, there has to be a chance. If you own horses, physically own horses, and they're yours, man, I think for me, you have to play.
Do you guys sell your best horse?
I disagree.
Yeah, I want to hear everybody's side on that.
That's a tough one.
What was that?
Depends on if you
Yeah.
have to live.
Do
I mean,
you
it depends
sell
on
your
who's
best
I mean,
actually
if-
really
yeah.
paying the bills.
2 and 3
Yeah, you sell your best horse and then you go and you buy 3 more.
And you pray that one of them works out.
If you only,
That's what you. I mean,
but I had 3 horses I had from Canada and came down here and sold them and turned the 3 into 4, and then you start to turn, and then you can do it that way. But I actually disagree with you. And if you have, regardless if you have your string of horses, if you get an opportunity to get into a high goal scene or with a professional player, use that person as your vehicle now to get into the higher level of polo. You're gonna not only learn more, you'll get more opportunities, I think, being in that organization or being with that player. If you're with the right player, then yes, playing in butt-fart Idaho and 8 horses and trying to kill it and no one sees you and no one knows and you had vet bills and you had.
I've played Budford Idaho. It's kind of nice.
But
I mean,
it's.
I don't know. I mean, Jake, you have 4 of your own horses here, right?
If you get the opportunity with the big guys and all of a sudden it's time for you to play, you say, well, okay, I do have some horses I could bring. Okay, bring your best 3. And now we'll start that way once you get the job. But it's too expensive to be carrying 8, 9 horses to get paid nothing, to maybe I get seen in a 2-goal. If you have the opportunity and get with the right people, I'd say do that. Because that puts you already up here with 0 expenses, and you're learning from the best, watching the best, being around the best, and that's where you want to start. It's tough to start a 2-goal playing and then all of a sudden, oh, I got a job at the 8-goal, and then the 16-goal, and it's very tough for that to
If you
happen.
have someone else helping to pay for your horse expenses, like I think Team USPA does something.
Well, yeah, if you don't have the expenses, keep
you
them
don't have
going.
horse
But
expenses?
who doesn't have expenses?
If you have outside help, take it. If you have somebody that's willing to pay your horse expenses here to do something, and you got to play a 4-goal on Fridays,
Yeah.
and
We
the guy
saw
says, "I'll take care of your horses for the
a
winter."
good example is Mason Rowe. Mason Rowe came here the first year, didn't bring a horse, and worked and bum rides and got, played horses practices for this guy, and here's a group of, he played for me a few practices, I gave him a group of horses, and went with Gulfstream, he got seen just practicing other people's horses. He had no expenses. Then, that kid's a nice kid, talking to everyone, okay, what are you doing this spring? Then he gets, okay, let's go to Houston. This kid was good. Bring your horses to Houston. Now, then when he has a deal, he brings his horses. 2 years later, now he's playing the high goal, and he's got his horses here, and he's going. But that first year, he just came down here and worked and kind of made his, decisions. You come down here first cold turkey with 8 horses.
No, I mean
You're done.
That's a scenario like if you are getting paid and you can afford to do it, do it. If you cannot afford to have the 8 horses in Florida, and you don't have a deal set, and you have nothing set, obviously don't be stupid because you're gonna run up $30,000 or $40,000 or $50,000 in bills, and you're gonna be paying that all summer playing in, you know, Idaho.
Butt fart, Idaho.
Butt fart, Idaho. You know, I mean, obviously use your head. I mean, don't say, oh, I'm going to Florida. I'm going to.
I think if you have the opportunity to work under somebody that's, you know, that's already established and is in a big organization, take it. You know.
Yeah.
And you sort of sacrifice 2 years and then say, I'm going to work my ass off under this guy, and I'm going to show him, and I'm going to, you know, and you're always going to have chances. You're always going to have chances to stick a ball and ride, and you're sometimes going to have chances to play practice and stuff like that. And sometimes the sponsor's going to hurt, somebody's going to get hurt. So the opportunities are going to arise.
Honestly, if you're there, you're going to get opportunities to play.
If you're there, you're hungry. If you really are
guys.
there and we're willing, you're hungry, people see it. You know, and they'll notice if you know if there's a practice and you're, I don't know, they're fiddling, you know, or talking to some chick or something, like, you know.
Yeah, you're standing around on the side with my 53 going teak.
But if you're there like watching, sort of like listening, and like
the next time I come back, I'm going to be pissed.
Another example this year, there's Rob Stenzel, who's Todd Offen's nephew, is down here working with us. He's Canadian, so he has the wrong passport to be hanging out with you guys, but he is working with us for free. We're giving him horses. I got him an 8-goal deal. They're not even paying him for the 8-goal. We're giving him horses to do this. I have him being, you know, a little pilot helping me with extra horses, and we're sticking balling, and Jeff Hall comes by. Oh, geez, I had 10 horses to ride. I've got all these extra horses. My groom's hurt. I said, Rob, he's here. Next thing you know, now Jeff's giving Rob 4 horses to go play in his 8-goal Sunday because he has an extra. Rob's not making $1, but he's here on horses, making connections. Yeah. People now are giving, he's a good rider, giving him horses. He's now being seen playing in tournament polo, and it's a way of building yourself. So yeah, he's fudging his way through, and you know, not, but again, that's just from being seen. He comes and rides with me, another guy sees him, hey, can I use him? Sure, use Rob. And now he just got another deal just by going out and riding with one other guy. So that's what I mean by someone's always watching you when you're on a horse. He liked the way Rob rode. He goes, can you come ride some of my horses? Sure, take them. So it's very important to be, like I said from the beginning, every time you have an opportunity on a horse or anywhere to be on point, I guess, be ready.
You had a question?
Did you remember it?
You just winked at me and told me you had a question.
Yeah, just winked at you.
All right. Well, Izzy got camera shy, so.
Yeah. Can we turn the cameras off for 1 second? I don't know, man. I think that's pretty much. I mean, it's all about how hungry and how dedicated you guys want to be. You know,
I think life.
You guys control your own destinies. Just work hard, and you guys will get the chances. And I'm sure you guys all have the talent to do it. So I would go for it, or not.
Just make your decision now.
Huh?
Yeah, make your decision now.
Don't be like
wishy-washy.
Like,
no.
Make a decision. Go for it.
Either go for it, or go do something else.
Yeah.
Or I mean, dude, or use Polo to go get a scholarship to school.
Yeah.
I mean, do whatever it takes. I mean, if you're saying, you know what, I tried that working thing, it really didn't help me. I wasn't. No, 6 a.m. sucks. Fine, but don't beat around the bush.
Or you can fall back now. Maybe you want to be a team manager. Maybe you want to just do. Maybe you're a great rider. You want to make horses.
Those are all, you know.
Not everyone's maybe got the drive to go be Sunday at 3 o'clock in the 26 goal or 22 goal. They want to do. There's a lot of avenues you can do in polo. It's not just being out there in the center field. And you can make a lot of money and make a very good living doing other things around polo as well. So maybe that's
really
something you
love
feel
horses and you love the lifestyle and you love everything about the sport, then you know, continue and strive to become a polo player. Or, you know, like you said, there's a lot of other avenues. You know, there's a lot of other options to do as well. So.
Thanks, you guys.
Yep.
Thank you.
It's awesome.
Yeah.